She sat quietly outside the small diner, her wheelchair resting against the brick wall, the afternoon sun warming her scarred hands. Her name was Sarah, a decorated veteran who had given everything for her country, including the use of her legs. She wasn't looking for pity, never had, never would, but sometimes the world didn't understand strength when it didn't look the way they expected. That day, 3 bikers rumbled up, leather jackets flashing patches, laughter echoing too loud. They weren't the friendly kind of laughter either. It was sharp, cruel, the kind that makes strangers tense. You could feel it in the air. Sarah tried to keep her eyes on her coffee, pretending not to notice, but they noticed her. One of them smirked, pointing at the chair. "Hey sweetheart, what's the horsepower on that ride?" The others laughed, the sound cutting like a knife. She didn't flinch. She had faced war zones, gunfire, nights colder than ice. But humiliation was a different kind of battle. Still, she met his eyes, steady, unwavering. That only fueled them more. And you could sense the story was just beginning. The leader of the bikers circled around her chair, slow and mocking. "You fight for freedom, right? So how free are you now?" His words were poison. The small crowd near the diner door shifted uncomfortably, whispers passing, but no one stepped forward. People rarely do. They watched, they judged, but fear kept them frozen. Sarah's jaw clenched, her grip tightening on her cup. She didn't want a scene. She wanted peace. But peace was a fragile thing, and sometimes it shatters in an instant. When one of them leaned down, close enough for her to smell the sour whiskey on his breath, he tapped the side of her chair. "Bet you wish Uncle Sam gave you a real set of wheels." That was when something inside her snapped, not anger but defiance. She lifted her chin and said quietly, "I've rolled through worse men than you." The words landed like steel. His smile faltered. And in that split second, the universe began setting the stage for what came next. Someone inside the diner had been watching the whole thing, phone in hand. A friend of Sarah's. A Marine. He'd sent a message, just a few words, to a group chat that never slept. Marines didn't forget their own. They didn't leave each other behind. The clock began ticking. 30 minutes. That's all it would take. The bikers, oblivious to what was coming, grew bolder. One grabbed her coffee and tossed it to the ground. Another mocked the medals pinned to her jacket, asking if she'd bought them off eBay. Each word was meant to strip her dignity, but every second her silence became heavier, sharper, like the calm before a storm. The onlookers felt it too. Something was shifting. Then it happened. The deep growl of engines in the distance, not 3 bikes but dozens. Steady. Powerful. It was a sound that carried authority, that demanded attention. Heads turned down the street as formation after formation of motorcycles rolled in, American flags waving, leather vests marked with insignias that meant Brotherhood. They weren't just bikers. They were Marines. The air changed instantly. The 3 tormentors froze, their laughter dying in their throats. The ground seemed to tremble as the Marines dismounted, boots hitting pavement in rhythm, eyes locked on Sarah. They didn't need to speak, their presence said everything. The leader of the new arrivals stepped forward, a tall man with broad shoulders and quiet fire in his gaze. He looked at Sarah first. "Ma'am, you all right?" His tone wasn't a question, it was a promise. She gave the smallest nod, her eyes softening for the first time that day. Then he turned his attention to the bikers. Silence stretched heavy, the kind that makes your chest tight. "You picked the wrong soldier," he said finally, voice low but unshakable. "And you forgot one thing, we don't let our own stand alone." The bikers tried to laugh it off, muttering excuses, backing away, but the wall of Marines closed in, not with fists, not with violence, but with sheer presence. Sometimes the weight of respect, of unity, is stronger than any punch. The 3 bullies were forced to retreat, their swagger gone, their engines roaring in desperate escape. They vanished down the road, smaller than they had ever seemed. Sarah sat there, tears threatening but unfallen. She wasn't broken. She never had been. But in that moment, surrounded by her brothers and sisters in arms, she was reminded of something war had taught her long ago. Family isn't just blood. It's those who show up when the world tries to tear you down. One Marine knelt by her chair, placing her spilled cup back in her hands. "We've got you always." And as the crowd that had once been silent now clapped, Sarah smiled through the ache in her chest. The humiliation was gone, replaced by pride. Not because she had been rescued, but because she had been reminded of her worth, her sacrifice, her unbreakable spirit. That day, a message was written not in ink but in loyalty. You don't mess with a veteran because you'll answer to the family that never forgets. So if you were there, standing outside that diner, you would have felt it. The way courage can be quiet but unshakable, the way unity can arrive on roaring engines, the way dignity can never be stolen when hearts beat together. And maybe, just maybe, you would have realized something else too. That in a world where cruelty still walks loud, kindness and loyalty will always ride louder.